In normal conditions with my stock XR, I have a range of about 25 kilometers. My playful style reduces that range to about 15 kilometers, and add to that the cold weather here in Belgium and you get stuck with a range of about 8 kilometers, which is an issue. How can we fix that without having to buy a 2,600 euro GT?
Ayo, let's go.
So the XR is still by far my favorite ride. I'm not really into the pint. I had one before, but I really don't like the feeling and it just doesn't want to engage under my feet. Then the GT is a bit too heavy. It's not balanced out properly for my liking, so that's something that I don't want to upgrade to. So what is there for a solution to get that range up there? Well, I bought a second-hand CBXR from a good friend of mine, Lars, but it has issues. So having this issue could mean a couple of things. We could have an X-shaped tire, which I hope for because that's the less costly issue. Then we could have an issue with the axle or the bearings, which I really hope it isn't. And there could also be a lot of slime in the tire. The slime can just go down in the tire and get really hard and fixated. So that could also cause a little bit of a wobble. So we had to open the machine up to notice what was the issue. And in order to get this CBXR fixed again, we're going to Goes. He's kind of becoming the one-wheel expert in Europe here. This one tire, the Hoosier Slick, the Flight Fins Hoosier Slick that I want to put on my Varial setup, and then I'm gonna put this tire on my CBXR, which is here, because this tire is still the original of the previous owner and it has a really weird shape. Kind of feels like you're riding on an egg when you're riding this thing. And in the trails it doesn't really bother me, but on the streets you really don't want to hump on the streets, so that's why I'm changing tires. So ayo, let's go! Goes only has right hands apparently. He gives me some gloves and I had to look for 5 different pairs to get a pair. So the thing is, if you're changing your tire in wintertime, this thing is a lot more robust to get on that hub. So that always gets you in a little bit of trouble, but that's why we grease it up all the way. Okay, so far so good. We've been able to install the wheel to get the bumpers back in. So this is totally prepared for street now. And then I have to attack my trail beast. Apparently we have 2 locked in screws. This one is locked in the plastic. And this one is going bananas into the rail. And we can't get it out. And this one as well. We were able to get it loose from the footpad, but the bolt is still, as you can see, it's still in here. But this is the biggest problem indeed. But we'll get it fixed one way or another. Sometimes it helps with putting pressure on the side of the bolt and you can get it gripping again, but it's not always a success. Is it a success?
It's a success.
It's a success. No drilling needed.
Not yet. So Vinny, now we're gonna take a break and now you can vacuum my house.
Yes, with pleasure. So we already figured out that it's not the rail, it's not the bumper, but it's apparently this insert in the controller box. So we're gonna check the controller box to see if we can fix it. This insert, it's come out, so it's not really properly in there anymore. Yep, it came all the way out. That's the insert, which is supposed to be locked in this hole. As you can see here, the other one is flat. We have the impression that it's also loose, so let's see if we can fix it.
Loose.
Loose? 2 loose bolts in the controller. That's not good news. The hardest thing to do now is to get this thing out of the plastic because it is loose in there, but it also has this kind of robust shape which locks it in there. So we have to get that out, and preferably without damaging the box. That's the trick. You just turn it until it heats up the plastic, and then you can just pull it out, because then the plastic becomes soft. Good solution by Goes. He's the man. These boards are pretty robust, but as you see, we ride them pretty hard and they get thrown all over the place, and these are really the weak spots in the board. There's definitely a few weak spots that Future Motion still can address. It's kind of a test because we've never done this. We're gonna see if it holds under pressure, and we'll definitely have to find another solution if this doesn't work. Some DIY Badger stuff. So all the inserts are back in place. But we definitely noticed while putting it back together that this one insert in the rail, or the threads in the rail, are totally fucked. So we'll have to repair that. Luckily, I still have another pair of rails right here.
Several days later.
Let's get this thing done. Let's posy this one. Goes has a cool trick on how to posy this sensor. You just plug in like a bridge in two of these holes, and then you have like just this reacts as one sensor instead of two. You get a better reaction time on tricks, and it's easier to just get away from the start. So this will take 1 second off if we go racing. And we have a posy. Right, we practically have a new board all set up. Thanks PJ for these rail guards. They really fit well with the bottom, with the bank bumpers. Same pattern in the rail guards as the bank bumper, so really pleased with that. We got her back on track. She's riding smooth as a daisy. And on that note, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Peace out, and I'll see you on the next one. Bam!